and family.
Go ahead.
Assalamu alaikum, friends and family. Praying everybody is well. Today, of course, is Thinking Thursday.
That's right.
Welcome, welcome to Love My Kidneys. I want everybody. Okay, so first and foremost, fam, our internet is having an outage today. So I'm on my phone, so things got to roll a little different. And I'm going to have to go through it as quickly as I can because I don't know how long this connection is going to last. So unfortunately, you don't get anything music. And we're not going to run through all of our commercials, but you know those that we support. And of course, we would love your support as well on etsy.com/shop/Nafeezahali, which you can see it rolling across the bottom there. Okay. Um, we come with you to you today about Love My Kidneys, and today's subject is patience. Okay. But it was something that I wanted to do first. And you can do this. It's really easy. All right. We are going to give our kidneys some love. Okay. So what I want to do, if you're not familiar with qigong, is or if you know what qigong is, is warm up our chi. Okay. So I'm gonna let my husband do that. Warm up your chi. All right. So my husband does this when he's happy. And there's some good things about to happen. He always warms up his chi. So what I'm gonna ask him to do is warm up his chi, and then do some love. So what he's doing is he's putting his warm hands on my kidneys. Okay, so you can do this for yourself. Warm hands over your chi. Put your hands on your kidneys. Close your eyes and say, "I love you. I love you. Thank you. Thank you for working so hard. Thank you for pulling the toxins out of my body. Thank you for keeping my blood pressure in line. Thank you for all that you do to produce the fluids to remove the toxins out of my body. I love you today, kidneys. I love you every day, kidneys. Okay? So give your kidneys some love, all right? Excellent. Thank you, honey. He has such good cheek. Um, his
Let me
hands are
jump in
always warm. Yes.
just 1 second.
You want to
I
share?
got this. Just really quickly, fam, because we don't have a long time. But we already know that it took you a long time to get into whatever condition that you may find yourself in, whether you're dealing with whether you're dealing with kidney healing from kidney failure, healing from cancer, heart disease, whatever it may be. You know, you have to realize that that's the reason it's going to take patience, because it took you some time to get to where you are, and it's going to take time for that body to be able to actually repair itself. You know, they say a river, if you just let it keep running, even if it's polluted, it will actually itself. It will actually the major part, the major part about this is that's what we're saying. You have to have patience with the process. Now, I'm just going to speak to just quickly from the perspective of a caregiver. You know, at the end of the day, you may not be dealing with it physically, but definitely emotionally and spiritually, you are dealing with it, because when your loved one hurt, when my wife hurts, I hurt because I'm a person that I'm a solutionist. So if you're telling me something is hurting on you, then I want to find ways in which to fix it. But at times I can't fix it. And I just have to do what I can. and go into prayer and know that Almighty God is going to deal with it along with my wife and herself and her own healing capability. You know, it's not easy to see your loved one go through suffering. It's not easy. And I know that it is healing, but still, just to see her go through what she's going through, it takes patience on the part of the caregiver as well as the one that's actually dealing with it. Because, like I've said in previous episodes, at one time, I was like, I didn't really understand all that was going on. I didn't understand that kidney failure could bring mental fog. I didn't understand those things. And I would wonder sometime, well, why isn't my wife doing this and that? She just knew about kidney failure extent of everything that was going on. So with that, I had to learn patience. Once I found out the extent of the damage, then I had to be patient with her and with myself because it can thing for both parties. It's frustrating for them going through it, but not being able to do something about it. It's frustrating for you not being able to do all the things that you used to do in the way that you used to do. So it calls on patience. It calls on both parties to be able to be patient enough to, number one, endure what the other person is going through. Because it's a mental thing. It takes a proper mental attitude to even the way that she's fit. And sometimes there's frustration. Well, man, and this now and that now and this now. But at the same time, this is when you have to go to the God, ask God to give you the patience to endure whatever is going on with that person. You know what I mean? We have to learn compassion, to learn patience in the process of their healing. And you have to continually hold it in your mind that that person will be able to be healed, even if they become discouraged. As the caregiver, you got to be the one to be able to come back and say, no, that's not what we said. We didn't say nothing about you giving up. We didn't We didn't say nothing about that. And you are going to fight along with me to help you to give up on yourself. And you have to mean that. That don't, it takes the virility of your spirit sometimes to enhance the spirit of your loved one. It does. Because they may be feeling like giving it up. I'm gonna just share a quick story. I hope she don't mind.
No, go right
But
ahead.
let me share. Wife told me, she said that when she found all of this out, that she was gonna leave our house in Macon and just leave us here in Arizona because she didn't want me to have to go through all that she would have to endure. Well, I played a song for her from Atlantic Star called "Send for Me," and if you know that song, it says "Send a message in a bottle." It don't matter. Just say if you thinking about leaving, send for me. I'm just a telephone call away because I wanted her to know that I will fight. She live in a ice cavern in the bottom of the Antarctic. I will travel there to find her. But that's the commitment. It takes commitment on the part of the caregiver, and it takes commitment on the part of the one that's being healed as well. And you all have to motivate each other, you know. But because this is our experience, but it's, you know. So that's just what I wanted to say, and I'm gonna pass it back over to her.
Yes, sir. All praise is due to Allah. And I'm glad He said that because it was a thought that crossed my mind. Because I didn't, it's not that I didn't think He would have the patience. I didn't want him and my sons to suffer, and I felt like I was slowing their life down, because this was going to take full attention, to go through what I have to go through. And, my husband reiterated to me that he loves me, and he's willing to go through that with me. And that means so much. Um, oh my God. Okay, so this isn't about me and him. But my husband is such an awesome human being to be here with me and to be my caretaker. Actually, is one that prepares the machine for me for dialysis, and he actually, the proper word is cannulate, but most of us will relate to me with the needle. He's the one that does all of that, and he, goes through so many and extent extensions. I think that's the right word. But he goes through so much to make sure for that. And now, as he said, if something else jumped up, and now it's the back pain. So I've been going through the back pain for almost 2 weeks now. And just to give you a little bit about patience and dealing with this process of healing, my primary doctor told me that it's most likely muscle spasms due to dialysis, right? Due to the fluids being removed, the blood being, it's cycle of the machine back into your body. So it's just something that happens. People get them really bad in their legs, um, and cramps, real bad cramps. And anyway, so I've been getting really bad um, pain. And so, and doing acupuncture once a week, and we're using an ointment that is helping a lot, and we'll deal with that a little bit later. But during the process and using the natural alternatives, and my doctor did give me some pills um, that are muscle relaxers because I can't take pain pills because that's hard on kidneys, right? And we're cleaning at all. Muscle and things have to be consistent, right? Different things. But I said if I gotta be in pain anyway, and so we're going through the acupuncture and the ointment and the heating pad, which has been very helpful. But you got to be patient. You got to take time. When you think about this is a scenario that I wanted to share about patience. For those that garden, those who grandmama used to garden, you take a seed and you put it in the ground or you put it in a pot, right? Then you have to allow that seed time to germinate. Do you do it's the same with the God. When you ask him and you pray about your healing and you're petitioning God to relieve you of whatever illness that you are going through and you are sincere, then you gotta know and trust that the God is doing exactly what it is you ask him to do. Are you doing what God asked you to do? So if you're doing what God asked you to do and he made a promise, then he will answer your prayers. It's not all answering your prayer so that ultimately you receive what is best for you. You have to trust. Trust that body is healing. And we talked about that positive image, that positive, having that vision board. On my vision board, as began, I'm gonna put some really healthy kidneys up there. Okay, my kidneys probably gonna have a smile on them. They're gonna be so happy. I want to envision it. I want to get my back into better than it's ever been before. Because the body is designed to heal itself. The body wants to heal. Have you ever had a cut or burn? I had a burn. Yeah, you can see it right there. Little line, this dark line. Well, of course, when I burned myself, I was taking some out of the oven, and the burner on the top hit my arm, and it was for a split second. People feel that pain go back, but pink, right? And it hurt. I put aloe vera on, so I put it in an environment where it can start, right? So I put aloe vera on it, and it started getting clear or clearing up. And then the melanin and it covered, then eventually it was brown and completely healed. The body did that on its own. The only thing I did was created an environment. Okay, and that's what we have to do when we're dealing with our kidneys, when you're dealing with heart disease, because unfortunately that's one of the disease. So when you're going through your healing process, as consistent as you can possibly. None of us are going to be perfect, and others expect for us to try. The message said during the criterion July 4th that if we um, of repentance, Allah will not punish us, right? So you being punished by God, okay? So if since we are in the process of repentance, should be gotta try to be in that process because we can come. Then and although we can't physically see him, we know that he exists. How do we know that God exists? Breathe. He appeared in the person when he talked, in the person when he spoke to the most honorable Elijah Muhammad.
That's right. That's right.
God is, see, a lot of times we don't recognize on the level of where we are. And of course, God got to be better than that. Absolutely. God is the perfect expression of what a man, what a woman, what a human being should be. He's the perfect expression.
That's right. That's right.
And he's concerned about us. He is making a way for us. The hour that we are living in, some of us got to go through some stuff, but we have to go on. And in that process, it takes a lot of patience with yourself, not just with your time. The
In the spirit.
the healing of your spirit. So you gotta have a connection with the God in order to start receiving your healing. And the more that you pray to the God, the more you talk to the God, the more you read His Word, the more you understand how He thinks, right? Then we can start the thinking of God. And by Allah's grace and mercy, I got that from study guide number 18. In the Nation of Islam on Friday night at 7:30, we have study group. All are welcome. And in that study group, we learn how to do these things, rising above emotion into the thinking of God. I learned this probably, it was in 89, 89, 90, so almost 30 years ago, right? And I'm still feeding off of that knowledge, off of that wisdom. I have received much understanding. I know that it has made my life that much better. And so because it has made my life that much better, I want to share it with you. I want you to have the same knowledge, the same wisdom, the same understanding, so that you can take it and grow it in your life, right? And let it germinate. And so that you can become about your destiny and your purpose. Just because you have a illness, just because you have something that you're dealing with doesn't mean your life is over. Okay, another quick story. I'm gonna talk about it a little later. But we went shopping yesterday. Y'all know me and my crystals. I tried this is kind of a Mayan quartz crystal. This is the stone that actually woke up with energy and understanding this one here. I thought the baby was lost. I thought they stole it when they stole all my stuff, and this one. This one was high, and I found it, and I keep her with me now. Yesterday, and during my shopping experience, I found this beautiful citrine. The piece that I bought was a very beautiful piece. It was about as big as this, maybe a little bit bigger. I get out the car and my bag dropped. I didn't think nothing of it. It dropped. Usually crystals have a certain kind of hardness. They can take a little bit of a beating. So later on that evening, I go to, look at my babies, right? Because I just bought them. I kind of want to, get familiar with them and touch them and all of that and see, the beauty of it. And open up the bag and it was broken in half. Broke in half. So I was upset. I was upset with myself that I dropped it, of course, and upset that I had spent this money on a stone with the desire to make something beautiful with, and it was broken. And then this morning, the God gave me something about it. And I believe the Holy Quran says that every good thought is from Allah. So I believe this was Allah's thought that He gave me to share with you. Although I was upset with that stone and I thought it was a done deal, I can't sell that. I can't, really create anything with that. And then Allah said to me, just because it's broken doesn't mean it doesn't have value. See, it had a lot of value when it was in its when it was whole, right? But just because it had a fall, just because it had an accident, just because something happened to it that appeared to break it in half, doesn't mean that the value of that stone is gone. Everything that was in that stone before it broke still is in that stone. Now, I can put that stone back together. I can use some kind of adhesive to do it, or I can, nestle it into some copper and, put something on there to kind of go past the broken part where, you would never notice it. Or I can leave it in two different parts and create two different things with it because the value is still there. Well, so it is with us, family. Although we go through changes, we go through trials, we go through tribulations, we go through our issues with our health, mentally, spiritually, morally, whatever it is. It doesn't mean that the value in you is gone. See, the value in you can't nobody take it from you because God is the one that put it in you. So your value that you had when you came to this planet, when God decided that you were supposed to be here, that value is still within you. How do you mend that back together? Right? You mend it back together by becoming one with the God. The God is an awesome mender. Have you seen his planet when things break, when things come apart, when somebody walked past and just snatched the branch off or the flower? What does Allah do? He grows another one because the root of the plant still has value. And sometimes Allah will separate things. You separate from your mother in the womb. You were once together, but Allah breaks the umbilical cord, right? Or allows the umbilical cord to be broken so that you can breathe on your own, so that mama can go on about her life as well. But we are still valuable. Don't ever forget how valuable you are. But you first got to find that value in yourself. God had to show me this morning that that stone still has value. Because my thought was, I can't do nothing with it. I mean, I'll probably keep it for myself, but it still has value and it's still beautiful, and so are you, you know. But I know sometimes we do such ugly things to ourselves and ugly things to one another. And we feel like God ain't gonna never forgive me. But yes, He will. That's how great the God is. He will forgive you. But you first have to make that step in order to be forgiven. And you have to have patience in your growth, but yet push yourself. You know what I'm saying? You can't, be so patient that you're doing nothing, you know? You have to put forth the effort and make things happen in your life. But be patient with that process. Set goals, work towards your goals, and then let the God work. Always continue. Remember, fam, prayer is so important. The only thing that Master Farad Muhammad told us through the most honorable Elijah Muhammad that was more important than prayer was separation. Okay? Separation sometimes is necessary. Like I stated with, the birth of a child. The mother carries that child for 9 months. And then after 9 months, it's time for a separation. Because if that separation don't happen, it's going to be the death of the both of you. Right? So that has to happen. And so it is in the day and time that we're living in. The reason that so many of us are sick the way we are is because of the society and the world that we live in. And we have to be separated from that so we can heal. How can you mentally heal when you wake up in the morning and this one died, that one died? Oh my God, another one died from this disease. Somebody got shot by the police. I look at my phone. I'm not trying to see a murder early in the morning, but it's on my timeline. You understand what I'm saying? So that's kind of hard to heal from. So we do have to keep that in our mind as we go through this process, is that we're going to have a separate territory where we can go and heal as a community, as a family, right? When I was raising my cousin Asia, I wanted for her, to just kind of sit in a field of flowers and think about who she wanted to be and what her life could be. I wanted her to have, that protection of peace around her, you know. But unfortunately, that wasn't the world we were living in. I had to send her at that time. I thought I had to send her to public school, and she would come home and tell me some of the horrible things these little children were saying to her. I'm trying to teach her how to be a young woman, how to be a god, how to think on a higher level. And she goes to this public school and it pulls her down, right? But Allah blessed me to finally get her out of a public school and get her an environment that was better, and that was, of course, MUI in Chicago, which definitely, motivated her and inspired her to become a great reader. And so my point is, fam, patience is the ultimate in what I'm talking about, but it's so much in all of it. And every good thought is from Allah. So when I get a good thought, I want to share it with you. Of course, we try to stay on topic, um, but I think it's all still relevant to understanding our patience and understanding that when you're dealing with what we're dealing with, you sometimes have to pull yourself away from those negative thoughts and negative people. Okay. I have a lot of people that I talk with in these different groups about kidneys and chronic kidney disease and things like that. And I listen and read their posts, and so many of them are just ready to give up. A lot of them, they always got something. Oh, this happened, that happened. I'm just, I'm going through this, instead of let's look at the positive spin. I told somebody that, they were at stage 3 kidney failure, and they were wondering which modality of dialysis should they take, um,
Dialysis.
hemodialysis, hemodialysis, or PD, which is the port in your belly, right? So I said neither. Prevent it. This is the time that you should work like hell, trying alternatives and healing the body. And so someone came back with, I've been around the world and I've tried everything and none of those alternatives work. So what I just told to them is your journey is going to be, even if it's not a cure, your journey is going to be better because you put your body in a better environment. Now, someone who has kidney disease or heart disease or any of these, diseases, you put one of them on a chicken diet, hot wings and hamburgers and pizza, right? And Pepsi. And then you take another one who decided to uh, take meat out of their life, eat more fruits, more vegetables, eat more holistic, clean, organic food, things that's going to add value to your body. You tell me which one is going to suffer with more side effects. The one who's eating the cheeseburgers or the one who's eating the veggies? Well, it does matter what they're eating. That's going to make a big difference. But one got a positive attitude, one got a negative attitude. The one with the positive attitude is the one that's going to win, right? And it's been proven. When you look at success stories of millionaires, they had a positive mindset. They wrote down their goals. They decided and they were determined, this is what I'm going to do. And you have to take that same attitude with your health. People take time and plan weddings, all the way down to the flowers and the color of their dress. But how many of us plan our life?
Come on now.
Right? Most of us, don't take the time to write down what I plan to do tomorrow.
Come on now.
And it makes such a difference because if you don't know where you're going, how you gonna get there?
That's
You
right.
know, and I mean, a lot of these things that I have heard, have been from the ABS tribe, but it's been from many sources. Of course, I listen to my beloved minister, the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, and the things that I receive from him, I share back, right? So, these things are not Sister Natalie over here who's all wise and knowing. It's not like that at all.
Right.
But I try to listen to those who are wise. And I listen to the God in reading the Holy Quran, which is the all knowing,
That's right.
right? So I don't, but they do, and fam, you can do this. That's the thing that I love to encourage you. You can do this. This is your time. No matter what you're going through. When you laying in that bed and you in pain and you don't feel like getting up, pick up a book. If you don't feel like picking up a book, do the audio. They have audio books, right? If you go back, oh no, that's not available. Anyway, I'm sorry. I was thinking about our old. We used to do blog talk, and so we used to read the Holy Quran and Message to the Black Man, and we had all of that, and we're still trying to recoup it. But there are some audios on YouTube.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely plenty of Minister Farrakhan, Sister Ava, Mother Tynetta. I mean, there's so many. Just put in Nation of Islam positive speeches. Something will come up for you so that you can start feeding on good, positive words. There are motivational speakers out there. Oh, is it 11? What, I got 30 more minutes?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I still got time, guys. Okay, so I know my internet may not last a whole lot longer, but I want to make sure that I give you some
Farrakhan in Tucson. So you can actually check that out and go through those. I mean, it's a lot of positive food that you can eat. One that is there is the source of strength.
mm,
And that lecture is just so powerful because it lets us know absolutely and completely that we have to rely on God. We have to rely on God. And like she said, a positive mental state is very, very critical in any healing. Now, it was a Chinese doctor, I can't remember his name, but he tested 2 glasses of water. And in the glasses of water, he said negative words. He said hate, killing, all of those things. And then in the other one, he said love and peace and truth and joy. And he spoke positive things to it. And the negative underwater that he spoke negatively to, it actually turned darker. It actually turned darker. And the one that he spoke positivity to, it actually stayed very, very clear.
mm,
So, what that is telling us is that with the right mental food, with the right spiritual food, then the outcome is shown. It's showing you in the water. Well,
mm,
Allah says in the Quran that his throne is ever on water.
right.
And since we are made of 70% water, then the thoughts that we speak therein, how do they affect us? Look, and I just end on this because I don't want to be long. The Honorable Elijah Muhammad said, and our Savior has arrived, that thought has the power to literally shape your mind.
Mm.
Meaning, he said sometimes you have such a powerful thought that it actually shows up on your face, and you've had, and every one of us have had those thoughts. So if you are thinking on death, if you're thinking on suicide, if you're thinking on giving up, if you're thinking on I'm sick, there's nothing I can do, I'm giving up, I'm about to throw it out the window, then you, as ye are all gods, are telling the God within that you no longer want to be here. So therefore the body begins to accommodate what you said. But if you would just speak life to yourself through the pain, we played last week, where would we be without pain? The Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan is in all kind of pain because he's working with half of his organs, but you would never know it because his walk, the way that he walks with the God, the way that he moves, it causes his body to stay in a constant state of healing. Meaning he haven't regenerated everything yet, because he let us know that that aspect is going to come when he meet his Lord on the wheel. But look at how he's able to move. He's 80 plus years old and walk faster than most of us do. Now that's the truth now. He's clearer because his mindset is always on the power of God to do. He never speaks of his own power. He talks about the source of strength, and that is Allah. So whatever you're going through, whatever kind of sickness, whatever you're going through in your life, it starts with a positive mental attitude. It starts with the right frame of mind in order to go through the challenge that you're facing. We're taught in the FOI that a FOI is constantly training and conditioning himself to meet and overcome all obstacles in their path. That means sickness, that means finance, that means marriage problem, that means whatever it may be. We're constantly training and conditioning ourselves. That's not just the FOI, that's the MGT. That should be everybody's mind frame in life. Because remember this, and this is all I'm going to say. I'm going to say this real good now. You create your own reality. That's why Mind Spark Creations is such a powerful name, because the God created himself from the spark of the atom and from the thought process of his own mind, created himself and the universe itself. So what are you creating? What are you manifesting? Speak life. Speak victory over your sickness. Speak life. Speak victory over that situation and claim it, it says. Name it and claim it in the name of God, and don't doubt. And then Almighty God will bless you with the victory. It might not come tomorrow or next week. It might be 1 year, 2 years, 5 years, 10 years down the line. That is why we're taking up patience that is necessary for healing. Do you, do I, do we have the patience necessary to go through the vicissitudes of life? I'm going to let her say something else. We also wanted to just play something from the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan. We got our internet back up now. So we're going to actually let her say what she's going to say. And we're going to close out with the man of God on patience.
All right. Well, I'm glad to hear that the internet is back up, because I didn't want you all to miss anything that, the God has put on our hearts and minds to share with you. Of course, family, we consider these fireside chats. We just friends and family chatting. So if you have something that you want to share with us, something, a question you may have, about something that we said, patience, or just what you're going through, and how you have been able to deal with your challenge as you go through the patient process, right? Being patient. That's a very serious word. That it's long suffering. If we can you do you have something to your phone to look up the word the patience? Can you look
Yeah,
it up on that one?
yeah,
Okay. So, so that we can be clear on the definition. We want actual facts, um, on what it is that we're dealing with. Because sometimes if we don't really understand what a word is, how can you achieve it, right? We have to know when most of us know what patience is, but we just gonna be clear. All right, that's important to be clear because it's what will allow us to be successful. Patience don't mean stop moving. You still gotta move. You still gotta, grind, as they say, to whatever it is that you're trying to do. A lot of people that I hear, and talk with about kidney disease is they have no energy, right? And I can relate because I remember those days where I just didn't have any energy. I mean, other than just showing up, and sometimes I would just sleep, because it was just difficult what my body was going through. But always being able to hear positive words, you know, put on some, like I said the other week, put some music on, open up the blinds, let the sun come in, go outside, get some fresh air. Even if you got enough, just a little bit of energy to get to that front door and open it up, and get some fresh air. Take a walk, you know. If you're not up to a walk, just go sit outside, put your feet in the grass if you're fortunate enough to have a yard, where you can put your feet into the earth and connect back to the earth. If you can do that, I'm in Arizona. It's not a lot of grass, y'all. It's a lot of rocks. The rocks are part of the earth, but I don't have that ability right now to really just go and put my feet into some grass and just experience that. So if you are in that position, take advantage of it. Okay. My beloved sister Jennifer here in Arizona, she said sometimes she'll be driving on the road and she'll see a tree and some grass and she'll pull over and go put her feet in it, and just enjoy the tree. Let the tree touch her. And that was a thought because you may not have it at home, but you may see that on your journey, to the grocery store or something. But just getting that extra energy, in the car, blast your music. If you got children at home, they don't understand, the old school, they pump you up. Go sit in your car, turn that music on, take a drive, breathe the fresh air, go to the park where, it's not a lot of people. I know we're doing shelter in place, but you got to go to the grocery store or you may have a doctor's appointment. So in your route, do that. Get some fresh air. Shelter in place don't mean you can't go on your property and enjoy your property. If you got a backyard and you can go out there, please, fam, enjoy. Get out and get some sun. You can have your music going out there. You can have your motivational speakers out there. Your spiritual guiding person that guides you. Enjoy it and build yourself up degree by degree by degree. Constantly work on it because the moment you stop and you say, I don't even want to be here no more, like my husband said, the universe goes to work to take you out of here. Have you ever seen an older couple who were married and the husband dies or the wife dies and a week later the spouse passes away? Because they didn't want to be here without that person, so they died. Their life force, they decided. Or when someone is, really ill, usually an elder, and they say, baby, I'm tired. I'm gone. I'm going to leave. In a day or two, maybe even in a couple of hours, the breath of life is gone. And you can't get it back.
Nope.
You cannot get it back. So whatever the God has given you, make the best of it. Make the absolute best of it. Have some fun. Stop being so mad. Yes, a lot going on. Yes, it hurts when you're constantly seeing others that are dying. That don't mean you can't have joy in your life. That don't mean you have to be mean to other people. I'm sorry you don't feel well, but find some joy, because when this life is gone, it's gone. And what you gonna say to the Creator? What you gonna say when you meet with God? Well, I know you gave me life, but you did this and you didn't do that. Are you gonna say that to the God? I don't think so. But if you bold enough to say that, He gonna say you did it to yourself. I gave you everything you needed. I gave you hands. I gave you feet. I gave you a brain. I gave you a heart. I gave you eyes. I gave you everything that you needed. I gave you everything that I gave everybody else. What did you make of your life? What did you do with the time that I gave you to be present on this earth? And we have to ask ourselves those questions, right? Because when you ask yourself them questions, that means you got to come up with some answers, and if you're not happy with the answers that you come up with, then you got to start giving yourself a new answer, right? You got to give yourself something else to pull on in order to change things. Let the spark in your mind create a new reality. We chose those words very specifically, or I wouldn't even say chosen. God gave it to us. You know, He gave it to us because we have to let that spark of life that God had in the very beginning, you have that, right? I told y'all the last couple of weeks or something, sometimes the shows, you got to go back and listen to them because Allah put a lot in it. But Brother Jesse, who he has a new spiritual name that I'm not aware of.
Abdul quite young.
Say it again.
Abdul Quayam, I
Okay.
believe it is.
All right. Praise be to Allah. He said that Minister Farrakhan said to him that the believers, those who believe in God, don't have to be Muslim. You could be a Christian. You could, be a Buddhist. You believe in God. Should live in the world of ideas. We should always be thinking of ideas to improve the situation and the condition. There are 10,000 plus people in Tucson, Arizona that is dealing with kidney failure.
That's right.
That's a lot of people.
That's a
That's
lot.
just in Tucson. That ain't even the state. That's the city. So imagine what's going on in the Black community and how many of us are dealing with diabetes, how many of us are dealing with high blood pressure, heart disease, kidney disease, all these chronic diseases because of the mental state that we find ourselves in. Well, we're going to change that, fam. How are we going to change it? We're going to change it one person at a time, right? Until it becomes the norm, until we're the ones that's taking over walking in the parks, where the drug dealers can't take over the parks and prevent our children from going into the parks and enjoying their day. No, because we out there walking and we see what's going on, and we don't want that in our community anymore, right? So because we're now being more active in the lives of our children, creating environments, allowing them to be more creative than destructive, then there's no room for the negative stuff that's been going on in our community, all the fighting amongst one another, all the backbiting, all the division. Those are things that are changeable. Those can be reversed in a matter of a short period because we have to do what the Bible tells us. Be ye transformed by the renewing of your mind. On my journey, not just with kidney disease, but my life journey. has been a lot of ups and downs, right? Never been perfect, and I'm okay with that. I'm okay that my life is not perfect, and all I know is I'm striving. I'm striving to be one with the God. I used to smoke cigarettes. For those who don't know, some of y'all know. Y'all know me from way back in the day. There was a lot of stuff Sister Natalie was that Sister Nafeeza is not. As, hence the name Nafeeza. It was a name, a spiritual name, to express my growth and my development as a human being. So anyway, I used to smoke cigarettes, and I had to decide to stop smoking cigarettes, right? I had to stop twice. I did it once, did it for a couple of years, and then, trying to get back at somebody. Stupid, but trying to get back at somebody, I started smoking again. And so then I had to quit again. But my point is, when you're on a journey, you got to keep moving forward. Now, I haven't smoked a cigarette in, oh, I remember it was Thanksgiving when I quit. So it was probably about 20 years ago, if not more. No, 28, so 30. Oh, actually about 22 years ago. So I haven't smoked a cigarette in 22 years. And I have no desire whatsoever to ever kill myself by doing something stupid like that and smoking a cigarette. And for what? What is the point? Right? But that's my journey. Because I went through that, because I know that addiction, then I can speak to that addiction and the stupidity of my own mind that allowed me to do that to myself. That's a part of self-hatred, fam. And the things that we do when we do drugs, we're expressing a part of ourselves that we don't understand about ourselves. See, when you understand that God, you and God are one, and that this is a vessel that He gave to you to express Him, right? Then we have to learn to take care of this body to the best of our ability, and we have to um, be okay with looking at ourselves and seeing where we've been and where we're going, right? But stay focused on improving your condition. If every day you wake up on purpose, every day you wake up and you are glad to be here, you thank God that He didn't take your life in the middle of the night, like we read in the Quran this morning, that Allah takes some of us at night when we sleep. So like my brother say, um,
Dirt the dream saver.
Dirk the dream saver. Somebody didn't wake up this morning, and it sure in the hell was not you. So if you're listening to my voice right now, that means the God gave you another chance, another opportunity to get up and do it right. Do better than you did yesterday, right? So if yesterday wasn't perfect, or let's say yesterday was good, right? Because my yesterday was really good. I had a great day yesterday, and then I found out at the end of the day, my poor little crystal broke. But God woke me up this morning and He gave me that idea that stone still had value, right? So we wake up and the next day we got to be motivated. And then I was excited to come before you all, also with our shows, with our 3 shows. And okay, I got to keep track of time. Yeah, okay, ooh, we got to go. I want you all to hear the minister. So just know that you are valuable, regardless of how broken you are, how many pieces you think you're in, you still have the same value that God gave you in the beginning of your time. So now we have to either mend it or allow it to develop into its own thing and be healed. Okay? Be healed. Be patient in your process, but be healed. I love you. I pray for you. I desire the best for you. And therefore, I will try to always give you my best. Okay, fam? So with that, I want you to listen to our beloved minister, the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, with his divine words that he was inspired with from God himself.
And she asked me to look up the word patience. So before we do that, I just want to actually touch on that just for a second. I'm going to share a scripture. James 5:8 says, "You must be patient. Keep your hopes high, for the day of the Lord's coming is near." And that don't just mean him coming physically. It means that whatever you're going through, you have to have patience and know that your change is going to come. The Holy Quran says it like this: Noah was saying he is overcome, and he called out to the God, and he said, "I'm overcome. Do thou help me?" And the God answered him and said, "Thy help is nigh.
Mm.
Thy help is nigh." He says, "I'm closer to you than your own jugular vein." So we have to keep faith. So I do want to look up, I had the word. Yeah. And there we go. The capacity, patience, the capacity to accept or tolerate delay, trouble, or suffering without getting angry or upset.
Mm.
And that is what patience is. It takes time to develop that. So we're going to let the close out with the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan speaking on patience. Thank you all so much for tuning in with us. Please listen to the words of the minister. If you don't have this particular lecture, let me see what is the name of it quickly. Seek refuge in Allah. You can actually get that particular lecture at store.finalcall.com. If you don't have it, you should get it. Store.finalcall.com. Let them know you want Seek Refuge in Allah by the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan. Once again, you see what's scrolling on the screen. So if you'd like to support us, you can do it in those ways. All right. So we're going to put on the minister. Thank you all so much for tuning in. This particular piece of it is about 12 minutes. So once we do that, we're going to go ahead and close out. Thank you all for your time and attention. And remember to keep up patience. Love you. Assalamu alaikum.
So how do you seek refuge in God? Let me close with you have to know and believe that Allah, God, is sufficient for all our needs. I don't serve a God that is insufficient to supply my needs. I don't serve a God that in times of trouble I can't call on him and receive an answer. He's real. But we have to know how to get into him. If you were arrested by the police and you knew the captain of the precinct that they were taking you to, all it would take is a call. If he's your friend, he'll look after you. Don't you know how to call God? Remember, I started mimicking my little sister. You want my number? But don't you want to know how to contact the one that gave you life? The one that gave you your gifts, the one that gave you sight and hearing and speech and a brain to think. He has not left you. He never left you. You had to leave him. So when you go to jail, jail is a wonderful place for some because it sure helps you to get a hold to yourself. And when you go, have gone, you find something in the solitude of your prison cell. "20 years in a prison cell can destroy you completely. But when you have a cause bigger than what put you there, when you know how to call on God and you do it, trusting that he will deliver you out of that situation, that's how you get through the hard times that life confronts us with. When the minister goes, even before he goes, the devil is going to make his move against me and against us. It's written in the book of Revelation. You can look it up, man. He going after the remnant of the seed of the woman. Look it up, man. He going after the remnant. We will make it through the darkness if we can know how to seek refuge in Allah. I'll close with these definitions. What does it mean to seek? It means to go in search of, to try to find or discover by searching or discovering. Allah has brought me through so many things that I can put my complete trust in him. I seek refuge in Allah from the evil of the envier when he envies. If you can get by that 113th surah, seeking refuge in God from all those things that are there, you got one more chapter of refuge to go through. I seek refuge in the Lord of men, the King of men, the God of men. From what? The evil whispering of a slinking devil that whispers into the hearts of men from among the jinn and the men. Oh, let me just break that down a little bit. Oh. Look. There's only one Lord of men.
Only one.
That's he who created the man and nurtures him through every stage of development on his way toward perfection. The king of men. Well, since people like political leaders, in Islam we don't have a king. Only Allah is the king. We say, oh Allah, thou art the king. There is no God but thee.
My Lord.
I seek refuge in the God of men. I got all three in one. It's not a trinity. It's the Lord of men, the King of men, the God of men, but I'm seeking refuge from the whispering. How many of you have whispered? Have you ever whispered? When you whisper, you're saying something to somebody you don't want somebody else to hear.
Right.
Now, everybody can't get to your ear to whisper.
Right.
See, it's the whispering of a slinking devil. Man. The Arabic word for slinking, it says hiding. He's hiding and he peeps out, and then he slinks back like he said nothing. A slinking devil.
Right.
That whispers, not into the ear, not into the brain, but into the heart of men. Now, where that devil come from? Watch this now. He whispers from among the jinn. Don't mean somebody here drinking gin. Although some people do a lot of drinking of the gin and act the fool. But the jinn is the fiery nature of a human being that is underdeveloped. Now, I'm going to give you a picture. How many of you have a newborn baby, or you've been with a newborn baby, and you've seen how the baby reacts when it wants something and you don't get it to him right away? What does that baby do? Cry in what way? Have you seen the face get red? Black as the baby is. Face get red. Fire coming up out of the baby. If it could cuss. It would say, damn it. Give me that bottle or give me that wrist. Well, you're like that. I'm like that. We're like that when our emotions are disturbed. You get disappointed. Somebody hurt your feelings. The emotion comes up. Now that's the jinn coming up. And then it starts whispering to you. Did you see what he did? That low down nigga, he did. And the whispering ain't outside, the whispering coming right up from you. And then it slinks like it didn't say nothing. Now your heart is on fire. Nigga didn't give me my job. I had a raise coming and it disappointed me. I know what I'm going to do. Now evil is at the door because you're bowing to your emotions rather than developing your power to reason above your emotions. In this hour, you'll be talked to a lot by your own disappointments, by your own anger and frustration over things in your life that you evidently can't control. And you become bitter. That won't help you to make it through the night. Seek assistance, the Quran says, through patience and prayer. Can you be patient when the going gets rough? Can you hold on to your integrity? You're going to be tested.
All right, family. That was the end of the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan on patience. So we thank you so much for tuning in once again.
Thank you.
If you got any value out of this, please share with as many people as you know that would benefit from this. We thank you all for tuning in. Don't forget to join us at 3 o'clock Mountain Standard Time on the Queen of Rap. We're going to be talking about shungite. Shungite, this powerful stone called shungite, which is good against that 5G radiation. Shungite and what it can do for us. The Queen of Rap, my beloved wife, will be there, God willing, at 3 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. We're going to be live on Facebook on the Queen of Rap. So we just want to drop this out here. For those who may not know, MindSpark LLC is the show we do 8:30 a.m. Every Thursday by the grace of God. Then Love My Kidneys is 10:30, and then the Queen of Rap is at 3 p.m. So if you would like to follow, to be aware of what we're doing, please do so. And also, we just started a new piece of real estate called Farrakhan in Tucson. And basically, that page is designed for those who want to know more about the Nation of Islam and the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan in Tucson. So if you're in the Tucson area, you want to know more, many lectures that's already in there. Of course, you can reach out to us through Messenger, and we are here to try to answer any questions that you may have if you're here in the Tucson area. Of course, we are out of mosque number 32 in Phoenix, but you can, of course, ask us, and we're striving to build some things right here in Tucson, okay? Because Phoenix is about 2 hours from us. So we're striving to build right here. So if, again, you can, go and check those out if you want to follow, then go right ahead. We appreciate your time, your patience. We pray we said something
Yes.
that was inspirational to you. Remember to be the best because you are the best. If nobody told you that they love you, we do, and there's nothing that you can do about it. And remember to continue to let the spark in your mind create a new reality. All right, we'll see you, God willing, at 3 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. All right, at the Queen of Rap.